Good morning, students. How are you, everyone? I hope you all are fine and stay at home. Now, students, I welcome again you in the class grade 9, and the subject is the social studies. So, students, these are the four books of your social studies, which consist of history, civics, geography, and economics. But, students, now today we are discussing about only one subject, that is the civics, and our subject is the rights in the Indian Constitution. So students, let's start discussing our new topic, that is the part of a democracy chapter, that is the democratic rights. Now, the name of the topic is the rights in the Indian Constitution. Students, in India, like most other democracies in the world, these rights are mentioned in the Constitution. Here, Constitution means law. So, all the rights was mentioned in the Constitution. So, some rights which are our fundamental rights in our life, it gives a special status. So, these rights are called fundamental rights. Now, today we are already read in chapter 3 in your previous class, that is the class 8, that what are the fundamental rights. Students, can you recall these rights? What exactly do these rights mean for an ordinary citizen? So now let's look at these one by one. But before starting our fundamental rights, now first of all we can discussing about what is the democracy. Basically, democracy is that form of government of the state which is carried out with the cooperation and the consent of the people. So according to the Abraham Lincoln, democracy means a government which is elected of the people, for the people, or by the people. So next is the rights in democracy. First of all, question arises, what are rights? Rights are claims of a person over other fellow being, over the society, and over the government. So all have equal rights, but a right is a possible for a person which should not harm the others. Now the question arises, why do we need rights in a democracy? Yes, it is right that everybody or all a citizen needs a right in a democracy. Basically, rights are necessary for the every substance of a democracy. Now, rights in our Indian Constitution. First of all, the what is fundamental rights? Some rights which are fundamental to our life or given to a special status, these are called fundamental rights. Basically, fundamental rights are defined as a basic human rights which needs for all the citizens. The constitution of a law granted that it consists of six types of fundamental rights. Now the question arises, what is the meaning of a right? So these are the fundamental rights which includes equality, hope, peace, justice, etc. Now the meaning of a rights. While living in a society, every citizen required facilities for their development. So these facilities and opportunities was provided by the society for an individual development or a development of a society. So these are called rights. Now these are the fundamental rights in Indian Constitution, which includes right against exploitation, cultural and educational rights, right to freedom of religion, right to freedom, right to constitutional remedies, and last one is the right to equality. Now we can discuss these rights one by one or a step by step. Now come to the first right. So these are again the fundamental rights which was given by our constitution of the Indian government. First one is the right to equality. Here it means law says that government shall not deny to any person in India regarding the equality before the law or equal protection of the law. It means that laws apply the same manner to all citizens, means this law gives the equal importance to the all citizens of India. Our second right, fundamental right, which includes the right to freedom. Here freedom means absence of constraints. In a practical life, it means that absence of interference in our personal affairs by the other, which includes a government or a individual. So we want to live in a society, but we want to be free. It includes freedom of speech and expressions, assembly in a peaceful manner, form association and unions, or reside in any part of a country and trade or a business. Students, you should remember that every citizen has the right to all these freedoms, but that doesn't mean that you can exercise your freedom in such a way or in such a manner that it can harm the other rights of a freedom. Now, our next fundamental right is the right against exploitation. Once the rights to liberty and equality is granted, it follows that every citizen has a right not to be exploited the others. Yet, the constitution makers, though it was a necessary to write down a certain clear provisions to prevent a exploitation of the weaker sections of the society. Our constitution mentions three specific illegal laws. That first one is the traffic, second one is the women for immoral purposes, third one is the child labor. So these three are the main parts of the right against exploitation. Next one is the right to freedom of a religion. Here every person is free to adopt any type of a religion without any force of a government. Basically the government cannot compel or force any person to pay any tax for the promotion of any type of a particular religion. Next one is the cultural and educational rights. Students, we live in India. So India consists of a different type of societies. So society includes different types of cultures, trends, tradition. So this law says that the constitution says the culture and educational right of the people. Any section of a citizen without a different language or a culture have a right to conserve it, or they can adopt any type of a culture without any pressure of the government. Our government cannot harm to any citizen on the ground of a religion or a language. Our last fundamental right, which is very important, that is the right to constitutional remedies. It includes the empowers the citizens to move in a court or a law in case of any harm of the various fundamental rights. So it includes that case can be filed by any citizen in case of a violation of all the rights in a state high court or a supreme court. So the right to constitutional remedies was created as one of the main fundamental rights. Why? Because the constitution or a law recognize that these laws helps in to protect the rights of the citizens. Students, the right to constitutional remedies plays a very important role in our life. Why? Because if in case of any one of fundamental right harm the individual or a person, that he has the right to present their case in a court. After finishing the fundamental rights, our next topic is the how can we secure these rights. Students, these are the fundamental rights in the constitution, and these are very important because they are enforceable. So this is called a constitutional remedies. Our Dr. Ambedkar called the right to constitutional remedies because it is includes the heart and soul of our constitution. The Supreme Court and the High Court also have the power to issue a direct order regarding the rights for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. How we can expand the scope of these fundamental rights? From time to time, the government or the judges gave the orders or expand the rights that it includes right to freedom of press, right to information and education. Sometimes the government leads the expansion in the legal rights that the citizens can enjoy. So, from time to time, the court gave judgments to expand the scope of the rights so that a individual can enjoy the all fundamental rights in a very good and a manner way. So, in the end, I want to say that, or I want to conclude that these fundamental rights plays a very important role in an individual life. So the true democracy will come to this country when no one goes hungry to bed. You don't need just equal right to vote. Here every citizen needs to have a equal information, have a equal basic rights and have a full right to choose their religion according to their his or her own choice. Students, in the end, I want to also say that stay at home, stay safe, don't go outside, wear your mask. Thank you. Have a nice day.